If you are anything like me, you've probably experienced an ultra race where everything is just in agony. Your arms, your shoulders, even your back and your core. The truth is, not enough people do enough strength and conditioning. So today, I'm going to show you 5 killer exercises to build ultra strength. So they include the squat, glute bridges, split squats, then we've got the plank, and then we've got one that you probably would never guess in a million years, skull crushers. And I'll explain later why that is such an important exercise. Firstly, let's jump on the king of compound movements, the squat. So the squat as a movement focuses on your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, and your core. There's so many different theories of how many reps, how many sets. Me personally, I aim for 12 to 15 reps and 4 to 5 sets just to build up that capacity. The trick really is to go with a weight which doesn't leave you too exhausted at the end of every set, because you want to be able to go into the next set. Also not to be too exhausted that your form starts to change as well. So you want to make sure that your feet are pretty much shoulder width apart, you've got a strong stable core, and you're not bending your back, and you're pretty solid, and your breath work is really good throughout the rep range too. Now, if you haven't got access to a gym or a barbell, you can do exactly the same movement using a kettlebell if you have one. So again, just a bit like a goblet squat, but hold it here, all the way down and back up, and again, same kind of rep range. If you haven't got a kettlebell, but you've got dumbbells, the same. So by your side, all the way down and back up, same form. If you haven't got kettlebells, you can do body weight, or you can grab a bag of sugar or something healthier that you've got in your kitchen. The next one we're going to look at is glute bridges. So with a glute bridge, you want to lay on your back with your knees bent, your feet roughly shoulder width apart, flat on the floor, and the whole purpose of this is to bring your hips up so your body to your knees is in a nice straight line, straight up. You need to focus on the contraction at the very top, hold that set position at the top for a couple of seconds, just squeeze your glutes as you hold. Again, 12 to 15 reps is great. If you want to make this exercise even harder, you can lift one leg up in the air and focus on either side and just hold. Or simply add some weight to your hips. Dumbbell, bag of sugar or something healthier, and up. But all the time having that controlled movement. You're not rushing, nice and controlled. You feel it in your hamstrings and in your glutes. And again, 12 to 15 rep range is good for me, plus 4 or 5 sets. Next on my list of ultra strength exercises is the split squat. We've all been on a trail, we've all been halfway through an ultra, or even towards the very end, where you've got a little bit of a tricky technical area, you find yourself slightly off balance, and you might go over on your ankle, or you might not have enough stability in your knee or your hips. So the split squat is a great exercise for strengthening that stability, and also just boosting a bit of confidence if you're just on one leg in a tricky area. You can do this without weight and just have a body weight exercise as a split squat, but obviously the view is to progress up so you're building that ultra strength for later on in the race. So adding weight is probably really advisable in your program. So we're going to grab some dumbbells here, and we're going to get into a bit of a lunge position, and essentially you're going to lower yourself down so your front thigh is parallel to the floor. So there, that means I've got to drop my knee on in that position there, and I'm just going to do 12 to 15 on each leg, okay, but focusing on that balance. So if I do this way, my feet are quite in line. So therefore I have to use those stabilizer muscles to keep myself from falling over. Now, if you want to make it slightly easier to start off with, you can have a slightly wider, you see how my feet are slightly wider apart? That gives you a little bit more of a balance. But then as you progress, the closer your feet can be in line, in a straight line, the more I have to engage the core and the muscles to balance myself and build that strength. Again, same thing. For me, 12 to 15 reps, 4 to 5 sets. Now, hopefully everyone knows that a strong core is crucial to strength and stability, especially if you're an ultra runner. So, in the plank position, I would look to do 30 to 60 seconds per set, and again, 4 to 5 sets. Now, the key for me is to keep my elbows roughly shoulder width apart. I like to bring my hands in here. I've got a dislocated shoulder, so just to make myself a little bit more stable, I bring my hands in and grip. But the key to this strength and this position is to make sure that my body is consistently in a straight line. So I'm really tensing my core, my ab muscles to keep my bum and my hips in line with my shoulders and my ankles. So it's a perfectly, well, not perfect. I have definitely not got a symmetrical body, but in a straight line from ankles all the way to shoulders. Now, for the one exercise, I can guarantee that almost everyone definitely did not think was going to come in this series. Skull crushers. You're probably thinking, why would I need to train my arms or shoulders for an ultra run? And like I said at the beginning, if you've ever run an ultra marathon, you've probably experienced that back achiness, the shoulder fatigue, the arms fatiguing and hurting. So for me, skull crushers is a great exercise, not just for the arms, but also the shoulders and the upper back as well, especially when you're loading up the weight. Now, I haven't got an easy bar, so normally you would look to do this with an easy bar, which is basically a bent bar, like a zigzag bar. I've only got a straight bar, but I'm going to demonstrate what a skull crusher is. And again, 12 to 15 repetitions for me, plus 4 or 5 sets is perfect. And sometimes I will superset it, meaning I will go straight into another exercise after one set with a little bit of chest press because I'm already in that position. I've got the bar, and I just find, just to give me that extra little bit of burn, extra bit of endurance, I sometimes finish on some chest press and bench press as well. So, ideally, your hands a little bit narrower than your normal bench press movement. So, I'm looking to keep my upper arms straight and flex at the elbow all the way down to, yes, you guessed, my skull. Hence why it's called a skull crusher. And I'm really focusing on slow, controlled movements, lowering it down gently, obviously. Now, if you need to use a spotter, just in case you're likely to drop the weight onto your face, please do, or just lower the weight so you're not afraid of dropping this onto your face. Breathe out on the way up. Really nice and controlled. And like I said, when you start to come to the end of your set, I sometimes superset with this movement here, just to give that extra little bit of burn on the arms, chest, and shoulders. Now, if you haven't got access to a gym or easy bar or barbell or any weights at home, you can also replicate a little bit of that movement, the skull crusher, with a close grip press up. Essentially, you can make a diamond with your fingers, so your hands are nice and close and your fingertips are touching. And again, standard press up position, legs out straight, or you can go onto your knees if slightly easier to begin with. And again, nice and close, all the way down, all the way back up. Nice and controlled, nice and slow. 12 to 15, 4 or 5 sets. So there you have it, my 5 killer exercises to build ultra strength. Hopefully you've enjoyed this and it's been informative. Please try and build this into your routine and let me know how you get on in the comments below. And likewise, let me know if you like this content or want any further content like this to help you with your ultra journey. And don't forget, drop a like, hit that subscribe button. We're here to lift hopefully 1 million people, but we can't do that without your help.